Hello everyone, I'm Jeff. I wanted to talk a little bit more again about the release. I had a fella contact me yesterday and he was saying that he had been watching my videos on release and he'd been having a little bit of difficulty in performing or doing that action. So what I do is I have an exercise that I go through and that I tell people to go through to help them get a feel of what that release is supposed to look like. Now once again, for the release itself, you know, everybody brings up their bow to anchor point nice and solid. For me, my anchor point is my middle finger at the corner of my mouth. So when I'm holding here, as soon as I hit my anchor point, that's when the release starts. Now a lot of people, what they do is they've gotten into the habits of doing a static release or moving their fingers or moving their hand in an opposite direction. Now if you watch my other videos, you'll see that I advocate releasing my hand on the same plane as the arrow. Keep everything straight. I just believe that, especially in a sport like archery, you need to keep things as compact and tight as possible. The less movement, the less can go wrong. So the more movement you incorporate into shooting, the more times things can go wrong, because just the law of averages. So when I get to my anchor point, the biggest thing I do is I just relax my fingers. I'm not opening my fingers, because opening my fingers creates a pluck. What it does, it makes the string have to bounce over the padded areas of my fingers. Now I like a nice deep hook. See, that's the way I grab my string. Okay, so I have a nice deep hook, and then I have to continue my back pressure in order to complete the shot. If I don't continue my back pressure, I'm going to collapse. See my shoulders? I'm going to collapse. My arm's going to collapse, everything's going to collapse, and my shot's going to collapse. And that's why I don't like a static release. With a static release, you're here and you collapse. Not only that, but you're also manually having to move those muscles of your fingers to get out of the way of the string. So the string has to pull out of its way, as opposed to relaxing my fingers out of the way of the string. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, what I like to see when someone shoots and they're face on, when they release, I don't want to see air in between the fingers and their face. Okay? Relaxing those fingers and bringing it straight back. And for me, it's bringing it straight back to a second anchor point that I've created, which is my ear. Okay? So I'm here, I reach my anchor point, I relax my fingers as I continue to draw, and then I pull them along the side of my face. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see air, because see what happens? It's not on the plane of the arrow anymore. Now I'm off to the side of the arrow. I want to stay on that same line as the arrow. I want the string to come off my fingers along that same line. Okay? So what I have done, I had a fellow contact me yesterday, and you know, when you get into a habit of doing something, it's very hard to break. And so right now he said he's short drawing and he's just pulling his hand away like this. And it's just a habit, you know, habits are tough to break. So what I advocate and what I tell people and what I got my kids to do is to just practice without an arrow. Now our wives think we're crazy anyway, so it's not going to really matter if you do this in the house. So I just have an imaginary bow. I pull up to anchor and I just repeat this over and over again. As soon as I reach anchor, I relax these fingers. I just let them go. And I pull back along the side of my face to my ear. So frontwards, I'm here. See, I'm not coming out. I'm not moving my fingers physically. I'm just letting the string, I'm relaxing, letting the string fall off it. Okay, so it's here to here. It's almost like I'm taking this index finger and I'm dragging it on the corner of my mouth until it has to fall straight. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Now, if you do this 100 times a day, and you just work on this 100 times a day, it'll start to feel natural. And then when you go shoot your bow, you're going to want to do that. You're not going to go back to this. You shouldn't. Okay? Because doing all of this and swatting flies at the side of your head when you release, that all creates a violent tension on the string. It makes the string vibrate. It torques the limbs. Okay, as soon as you do this, my limbs torque. Okay, and it's going to throw your shot off. So the idea of having a nice, smooth, and soft, I can't stress that enough, a soft release, where it's just sliding off ever so gently. You want the string to just glide over your fingers. And that's why you relax those fingers as you continue your back pressure. Okay? If you don't continue your back pressure, you're going to collapse on your shot. And if you manually take your fingers and move them like this, it's going to pluck as the string comes off. So you want to just slide those fingers back gently, and that string will slide away. Anyway, I hope that's helped. It's an exercise that my kids have done. It's an exercise that I've done. As I said, our wives aren't going to think we're any more silly than we are. They already think we're silly doing what we're doing. But I hope this helps, and I look forward to hearing from you and making more videos. Take care. Bye.